Mother here. You may remember back at the end of April, I had a man come here and he stole 7 digger buckets, and he broke into my digger with a key and took the fuse out of my digger. An hour later he came back and I confronted him at the gates. I had no idea he'd stolen the digger buckets. I had no idea he'd even been here, and I had no idea he had disabled my digger. So when I met him at the gates, this guy told me that he was winding up one of my customers, one of my yard customers, winding up in court because the customer owed him money, and he wanted to come here to see what was here to let the courts know, because the courts were going to issue bailiffs in the future. He did not tell me anything else apart from he had taken lots of pictures of my yard and of things in my yard. I asked, please can you show me these photographs? And he said no. So basically he just drove away.
Right, okay, Stephen. So tell me why you're here again.
I'm here because we're trying to locate, through the High Court of Justice, Mays Utilities, because they're not responding to the winding up petition that went through a week on the 24th of April.
Right.
The liquidator handling it for the High Court of Justice has asked me to see if I can dig up and find or locate them.
So I reported it to the police, and this has gone on since the 30th of April. The police saw the footage on the 1st of May, and I had 2 major interviews with the police. He's had about 3, I think, interviews with the police, but they've had to fit in around his international holidays and European holidays and the police holidays and the rest days and everything else. So I've just had to wait. And the culmination of it all is the police firstly said it's not theft, he took the digger buckets because he believed he was taking something that belonged to him anyway. And if you believe you're taking something that belongs to you, it's not actually theft. That would be your defence in court. So that's what you'd say to the judge. I believed it was mine, it was owed to me, and that's what I did, that in good faith. I was taking this stuff, in my eyes, stealing this stuff because I believe that someone else owes me money and I want to reclaim my money. They also said the same thing about my digger. They said no, when he actually did it, when he opened my digger with his key and he took one fuse out, he believed that digger belonged to another company who was winding up in court. So he did it under good faith that, yes, I'm owed money and I'm going to disable this digger so that I can come back and seize it. When I met him an hour later outside the gate, sure enough, he said to me he was coming in to seize that digger because they owed him money, and he also told me that he was owed over £100,000, but the police actually told me it was a lot less than that, about £20,000, I think, something like that. So this guy's lying to me because the police have actually told me there's a completely different amount. They've read out some of the statements to me, so I know this for sure. So it goes on, and then I said to the police, well, hang on a sec, okay. So when I'm outside the gates and I told him, no, it's my digger, then at that moment he should have said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I've taken the fuse out your digger. Here's your fuse back. I don't want to steal your stuff.
Can I see what you've taken?
No, you can't.
I can't see the pictures you've taken in my property.
Pictures of the
Stephen, please can I see? Well,
and he didn't do that, and the police said, yes, you're right. We've seen the footage. We can clearly see him taking your fuse out. That is actually theft. But the digger buckets, even though we can see him taking them, he thought they were his, so, you know, whatever. Fine, okay. So I spoke to 2 sergeants. I spoke to 3 sergeants, but 2 of the sergeants told me, at least one of the sergeants definitely told me, yes, it's theft, because he actually said to me, do you want to prosecute him? Do you want to do it formally or informally? Do you want us to prosecute? And I said, yes, I want to do it formally, 100%. I want this guy to go to court. I don't care if it's a £15 fuse, it's wrong. It's just, you shouldn't get away with it at all. And they said, okay, no problem. Then the police officer went on holiday, and then the guy went on holiday, and everyone's on holiday. It's like, you can just do it, you can go in for the interview when you feel like it has to fit in with your life, it's not a big deal. So eventually, yesterday, the police officer calls me up and she says, sorry, I can't prove it's theft because I can't see the fuse in his hand in the footage. After all of that, she's seen this footage since the 1st of May. And now she's saying, no, sorry. And I said to her, well, I'm watching it right now and I can see him literally opening it up. He's in there, both hands, he's struggling, he's pulling. You can see him doing something. You can see him trying to detach the fuse. And then you see him take something, put it in his pocket. And I said, is that not proof enough? And she said, well, can you send me footage proving that your digger works before? Now I've got to prove my digger works, and now they're turning it around on me and they're acting like, well, maybe there was no fuse in it at all. You can appeal, you can fill in this form, but you know what? I'm not going to get anywhere. The guy's like laughing. A trespass is civil matter, and the digger buckets, well, apparently he was entitled to them because he thought he was. I don't really know what to say about that. I sent the police a contract to say that if my customer didn't pay me and he didn't pay me and he owes me about 15,000, it's actually getting bigger because he's still got yard space with me, that I'm actually entitled to whatever is here becomes the property of my company. And I sent them that contract back again in May, and they've completely ignored it. So those digger buckets should be my possession, so really they should be mine. So even if he's not stolen them because he thought they belonged to the other company at the time, they still should be returned to me because I've got a contract to say whatever my customer leaves here becomes my property after a certain amount of time. How far do you fight this? That's what they're counting on, that people just give up and they just stop. There are people that owe me money. So does that mean if I don't literally break into their houses, if I had a key that opened the house, I can go in the house and I can take stuff and then say, but they owe me money, right? So I'm entitled to do it. Why were the proper bailiffs not sent around to my house? I would have sent them away because it's my property. I don't have to let bailiffs in. But why weren't the proper bailiffs sent here? Why did the police not care about the fact he did it himself? I don't understand. I just wanted to share the rest of my story. And I don't know, what should I do? Should I appeal? Should I fight it more? Or should I just give up? I'm so tired. But anyway, I wanted to share it with you that the rich guy with the flash Range Rover, he got away with it, and the police absolutely 100% don't care at all. The rich criminals live to see another day, and the idiots like me just doesn't matter, does it? Anyway, thanks for listening, and I really appreciate it. I'm going to make another video about the absolute nightmare I've had with Eon Next, which is just, it's unbelievable, really. Okay guys, until the next time.